us. Remember, new episodes premiere every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. on TV 15 and across other social media platforms.
I'm Jasenia Lassiter, wishing you a wonderful week.
Stay friendly, St. Martin.
Welcome to the Late Night Show. Hope everything is okay. Hope everything is all right. I'm your host, Andrew Dick. Okie dokie, kids, what's happening on the lovely island of St. Martin? Your boy get catch. I get catch. Police catch me. They got me. Police got me. So what happened was, when it starts like that, it's a whole story. So 3 a.m. on a Friday morning. What I was doing at 3 o'clock in the morning in Simpson Bay driving, mind your business. However, as part of the story, let's just say I was taking a drive. So I was driving past the bridge, police pass, normal, pop-up, normal. No. There was no pop-up this time. Car turns around abruptly. I'm like, whoa, I go into a scene. I can go live. Look like something happened. I got to drive behind them. No, It looked like I was the criminal because they follow me. So they put on the lights. They came out. And I was like, I had my seatbelt on. I was ready. I had everything, paperwork ready to go. So I was ready to argue because I know this is their time for them to catch me back for the 721 rant and my yesterday rant. Pete, remember yesterday when I cussed them off for the conspiracy of charging everybody $50 so that they could get more money so that they could buy the new cars? Let me flash back to that quick.
Flashback.
The conspiracy of conspiracies. Pete, I need a conspiracy music. Yes, that's it right there. Now, apparently, there is something that is happening in St. Martin's called government trying to get you. Why? Because the police, they're bragging. 230-something fines were given out, and they are saying it with their chest. They're saying it like, yes, we find 200 and something persons who have to pay our salaries. And then you have on the other side, whereby GEBE also charging the fuel clause like crazy. Do you know that someone showed me a bill just last week? $200 was their electricity that they used for a month. $560 was the fuel clause. Now, of course, the fuel clause was not supposed to be, they say, for the generators. The people will not be taking the cost of generators that we just recently had, which basically shows that we're still paying for it. Meanwhile, police is on a rampage, and they are all on the same page when it comes to making money for the government, who says that they are bankrupt. Okay, Pete, that's enough. So I'm just saying, think about it. Things that make you go, You see, so I was in my element yesterday, and then just a couple hours after I driving, and boom. Is it a coincidence? I don't know. I guess nobody will ever know. In the meantime, they came out and they said, good evening. And then when I pop up my head, I was like, hey, hi. Officer was like, very nice officer, by the way. She could search me anytime. Like, she could stop me anytime she wants. Like, if she stopped me again, I'll be like, officer, you got me. I'm guilty. Take me away. Take me away. Anyway, that was it going on in my head. In the meantime, what really was going on was, good evening, officer. Mr. Dick, how are you doing today? It's like, I'm fine until you stop me. She was like, well, we noticed you don't have no plates. I'm like, oh, officer, I have the plates. It's right there in my back seat. I just was too lazy to put it on. And she didn't laugh. She didn't laugh at all. She didn't find I was cute at all. She was like, yeah, but you have to have your plates on. I'm like, yeah, officer, but you know how it is. We work so hard. She take out her pink book. I said, wait, hold on, wait. Can I make a lifeline? Can I make a phone call? Can I call Cal? No. You safe, ma? No. How about Red Boy Thomas? No. Still suspension? Oh no, he walking back? Oh, okay. What about Felix? Can I call Felix? No. Wallace? No. Claudia? Definitely no. Okay, all right. Yeah, don't call Claudia. All right, fine. Nobody? What about if I call Mauricia? Oh, he gone customs? Damn. Oh, the new president of the AMPO. The new president. Can I call Marcus Pantafleck? No. You know, officer, I don't want to do this, but I will have to call Batman. And I started to put the bat signal up. You know, I put my hands like this, and I was doing it in the moonlight. But Batman looked like he didn't answer. He wasn't answering. I guess he was out with Krisha. I was like, I can't call nobody. Can I call Luke? She was like, Andrew, just take this 50 girl a buta and make sure you put your plates on your damn car. I said, okay. While the other officer was like, hey, how you doing? You good? Hope you're having a good evening so far. Speaking Papamento, thinking I can't understand Papamento. I can't speak it, but I can't understand it. It's the most gibberish language ever, but hey, go Curasalinian. Sorry, Pete. I said sorry in time before the whole thing crashed. Anyway, so I took my ticket, and then I started to think of the laws in my head. I was like, wait a minute, maybe I could just go and argue this 50 girl thing in court because it's wrong, because I have my plate in my car. The law says you have to have a plate, but I have the plate. I just didn't put it on. So what's a really big issue? Why are you giving me 50 girls? Am I wrong? And then even in my head was like, yeah, you should put on your damn plates. You just have it in your car like a museum artifact. You need to put it on your car, as in screw it on. And I was like, shut up. I want to be wrong and strong. Meanwhile, officer says, have a good evening. And then they gave me the ticket and they left. And I sat there in awe. I was like, they catch me. So big up to the Simpson Bay police officers. Keep on doing your job. Don't leave nobody stop you. Petty, you're doing such a wonderful job. I swear I was hearing Petty in the background on the radio going like, make sure check everything in the car. Make sure check everything in the car. It's Andrew Dick. Petty is so petty. So the reason they call him Petty, you know that, right? Police always play the long game. No? They were like, he gonna need us. One day, we gonna catch him slipping. It's okay, leave him cuss. Leave him do his little show. So I'm gonna have to go pay that 50 gullers. Anybody who wants to donate 50 gullers due to my negligence, I'm here for it, okay? Assist would be helpful because, you know, things rough. 50 gullers right now is, you know, that's a quarter tank of gas. Anyway, so I do have a picture of the officers. You know, just to big you up. That's the picture. Good job. You see that officer? Lock me up. Anyway, all right. Today on the show, we will be discussing, or we will be showcasing the last Parliament meeting that we had with the wonderful members of Parliament. It was over Enya and other stuff, but more people have been asking, what else happened in the meeting. It was pretty interesting, I must say. So we'll give you more highlights of it right about now.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Good morning to those in the Tribune. Good morning to those at home viewing online. And a special good morning to the Finance Minister and her support staff. Madam Chair, I would like to bring two things I would shed light on two things. One being the rules of order, where people such as myself are expected to potentially vote on this matter today. But because I wasn't part of the first meeting, I'm not allowed to speak, nor ask questions, nor go into debate with the good minister. So I think that's something moving forward that we need to look into on that specific point, because in a couple of weeks we have more MPs coming in and they could find themselves in the same situation. So for future reference, I think that is something we need to look into. Secondly and last, last Friday, I stood here and I used the words transparency and accountability a couple times, and the room to my left nodded, and what I thought, what I still think and hope, in agreement with what I said, and raising the bar when it comes to transparency. This proposal was brought to Parliament 3 weeks ago, and we only received the document 2 days ago. I don't think 2 days is enough time to do proper due diligence, nor do I think on an important topic such as this, it is the right thing to do and the right way to go about things. So I hope moving forward, we get a bit more transparency, because this is not a transparency I was referring to last Friday. So that would be all.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Good morning to my colleagues. Good morning to the Honourable Prime Minister of Finance and her support staff. Good morning to the viewing public. First of all, I'd like to congratulate you on your first meeting that you're chairing today. A few years ago, we had an MP Helliger, I believe he mentioned new chair, new rules. So I hope that also applies to you, potentially. Madam Chair, what I would like to notify today is that I am happy that the current government is continuing with at least some of the projects or initiatives that we started. I had a lot of calls yesterday and messages from civil servants that got their COLA and thanking us, thanking myself and the former Prime Minister on working on this initiative since last year, and today they received their COLA payment. So I'm happy that that process has continued. And what I would also like to say on that topic is that the COLA is not just a one-time payment, but it's actually a salary adjustment. December was a one-time payment. I'm hoping that going forward we see that the salaries have been adjusted, and not just for 2024, but going forward. And it has been done without the budget amendment 2024, so precedents have been set. So a few months ago, there was a discussion about vacation pay and, among others, not being able to be executed because of budget amendment. So now that is done, so the precedent has been set, so I'm hoping that we don't have these kind of excuses going forward for 2025, among others. In addition to that, Madam Chair, I would like to say thank you to the unions that also continue to push and fight for this, even though we have left. My last notification, Madam Chair, I'd like to say is that I do see a double standard when it comes to women leaders in this country, and when it comes to expectations on St. Martin. When I look, and especially I would say when I look at the Prime Minister position, when I see last week when we had the swearing in, there's no way, Madam Chair, that the former Prime Minister could have attended a swearing in and decided to leave during the swearing in for a joyride trip to wherever it is that they went. I think the meeting was too important not to be here. In addition to that, you're not even back on time to deal with a matter like Enya today. Not even back on time for that. And there was no way the media, the members of Parliament, they would have never let it slide with the former Prime Minister. So I'd like to say I do see that there are double standards when it comes to black women leaders in this country, and I think it's unfortunate. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair Lady. Congratulations to you as well for taking up the post as chair to chair this meeting today. I just want to, I know it's notification, but I still want to bring some clarification on some of the things that were said today. That was kind of insist, or kind of, how do you say, speculating that the left side of the room is withholding information from the right side of the room. That is not the case. Transparency is still there. We received the documents the same as everybody else. So if it was 2 days ago, the right side received the room, the left side also received it 2 days ago. And in addition to that, the comment that was made about our current Prime Minister, also Member of Parliament, Dr. Luc Messalina, he did mention that he had to take a trip for, not pleasure, but for the country St. Martin, and had to fly out on that same day, and they have therefore had several preparations to do. So I just wanted to make it clear for the public of St. Martin that they are tuning in, that there is no miscommunication with regard to that, and also not to shed a, so there's no miscommunication with regard to that. Thank you very much. That's all for my notification.
I am here to address the clarification questions posed on the 6th of September, 2024. Additionally, I would like to inform you that the addendum has been submitted to Parliament for review. This addendum has been agreed upon by the technical team of St. Martin, Curacao, and the Central Bank. Some may ask why this document has not yet been signed. The reason is that, unlike previous practices, I believe it is important to obtain Parliament's approval before finalizing the document. While the addendum has not been signed, it has been discussed with the Prime Minister, as both he and I will need to sign it. If you compare this with a legislative trajectory, once a legislation is submitted to Parliament, it can be amended up until the point when Parliament votes on the legislation. This amendment can be on the initiative of government through a so-called nota van wijziging, or on the initiative of Parliament. In this case, based on the feedback from Parliament on the outline agreement, I, as Minister of Finance, took the initiative, resulting in the addendum to the outline agreement as presented during the public meeting of Parliament of September 6, 2024. I believe this addendum is feasible, as on a technical level, there is an agreement between St. Martin, Curacao, and the Central Bank on this addendum. If the Parliament of St. Martin approves the addendum, the government will sign the addendum based on the mandate given by Parliament, which order, in my opinion, is the correct sequence, also taking into consideration the background on how the outline agreement reached Parliament. For our Parliament to function as a rubber stamp, which, in my opinion, does not reflect nor respect the authority of our Parliament. The initial HLA, high-level agreement, was previously approved by the Council of Ministers, and with this addendum, savings and benefits were brought to St. Martin amounting to 37 million guilders. The specific savings outlined in the addendum are as follows: 5 million guilders saved by not covering the BES and Suriname, 15 million guilders saved by excluding operational expenses, 14 million guilders saved due to a reduction in expenses, resulting in a positive cash balance at the end, 3 million guilders saved in interest by separating the peak facility and limiting its use. This amounts to a total savings of 37 million guilders for St. Martin. The addendum has been approved at a technical level, and it is expected that the ministers of Curacao are aware of this, just as I was kept informed by the St. Martin technical team. You, as members of Parliament, may ask, since the document is not signed, what is the risk if Curacao does not sign? The answer is that both St. Martin and Curacao would be significantly impacted if we fail to reach an agreement on ENIA together. Both of our interest rates would increase, affecting 27,000 policyholders in Curacao and 3,000 plus policyholders in St. Martin. As the Minister of Finance, I cannot, in good conscience, ask the people of St. Martin to agree to the previously signed HLA without this addendum, which would have us bear the execution costs of ENIA as well as cover BES and Suriname policyholders. whose policies are unrelated to the St. Martin's ENIA office. Additionally, the inclusion of a peak facility in which additional costs could be imposed on St. Martin is unacceptable. Lastly, us as St. Martin not having any benefit when it comes to our prime location, Mullet Bay. Therefore, I am here to request Parliament's approval of the outline agreement inclusive of the addendum. I remain fully committed to acting in the best interest of St. Martin, and that is what I am also asking of the Parliament.
Minister, we have MP Irion checking the list if he still has interruption possibilities. You have one interruption left, MP Irion. MP Irion, you have the floor.
You only need one. Madam Chair, I'd like some clarity, Madam Chair, because the Minister mentioned that in the addendum, we are ensuring that we don't cover Suriname and the Best Islands. But in the addendum itself, if you look at the footnote, at footnote number 5 and number 8, it already states that Curaçao in the HLA already was covering Suriname. Why? As I mentioned in the previous meeting, that at some point in time, these individuals lived on Curaçao. So imagine if I live on Curaçao, right, and I move to Japan, I'm not entitled to my pension. That's one. Two, I'm going to set up another discussion. And also, it also mentions that in footnote number 8. So I would like some clarity on that. If the addendum brings that, or that was already agreed to in the HLA.
Thank you, MP. Minister?
Madam Chair, to respond to the MP's question, indeed, in the footnotes, it does include for Curaçao, but what it does not include was that St. Martin, too, was paying the costs of both the BES and Suriname. And so that is why it was important for the technical team of both St. Martin, Curaçao, and that of the Central Bank to ensure that we, St. Martin, do not pay for those from the BES Islands and that of Suriname. And that is why in the addendum, it is clearly stated that we do not pay those costs, only the costs for those of St. Martin.
Okay, thank you, Minister. You may continue.
I want to be clear. I stand by my position that linking the COVID loans to finding a solution for ENIA was entirely inappropriate. I will continue to state this fact. However,
Minister, before you continue, I have another MP that would like to make use of her interruption. MP De Wever, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Lady, good morning to everyone. While we were on the topic, what I wanted to make sure that we got clearly was in the minister mentioned that St. Martin was also responsible for the Suriname portion. That means, was it shared costs then beforehand? Because I didn't get that in the explanation, just to make sure that we finish that point off by deciding, because it's now taken out, giving us a significant saving. So I just want to know if in the old one, that means it was being shared between the two. Thank you very much, Madam Chair, Lady, and thank you, Minister.
Madam Chair, to answer the MP's question, yes, it was indeed a shared cost.
Okay, Minister, you may continue.
Allow me to just restart that. I want to be clear. I stand by my position that linking the COVID loans to finding a solution for ENIA was entirely inappropriate. I will continue to state this fact. However, last year, October 2023, when the short-term refinancing agreement was signed, these two matters were linked, and as such, St. Martin has since then been committed to finding a solution for ENIA or risking higher COVID interest rates. It is still unacceptable that the Netherlands were willing to profit from higher interest rates on pandemic loans that will cost the islands millions to bail out a private entity and continues to disregard the pressing development needs of the islands. At the same time, we are forced to read in the Telegraaf that the Netherlands has just received 1.3 billion euros as a grant from the European Recovery and Resilience Facility to recover from the pandemic, while small island developing states like ours are threatened with higher interest rates on pandemic loans from our own kingdom partner. I must state, however, that the Netherlands agreed to remove the clause preventing discussions on loan forgiveness from the new refinancing agreement following my request. Hopefully, there might still be some hope for us with regard to these pandemic loans. Lastly, I am deeply disappointed in the central bank's lack of proper supervision over Enya, which contributed to this situation. Their failure to maintain independence during the negotiations of this agreement is equally troubling. It is unacceptable that St. Martin was being asked to shoulder costs for Suriname policyholders, best policyholders, or execution expenses, while knowing that Curaçao and St. Martin will not benefit equally from the continuation of Enya. This should have never been allowed, but thankfully, reading thoroughly with comprehension intercepted these hidden fees which were purposely placed on St. Martin. There are still numerous questions regarding whether the central bank, since taking over the supervision of Enya in 2018, has made the best decisions for the entity. This is a serious issue that must be addressed in due course, as their decisions has and will continue to have a direct impact on the financial obligations of the countries involved. Therefore, it is crucial that the central bank itself is properly monitored by the countries on this matter moving forward, and I intend to continue to question them on this matter. I will now continue with the answers to the clarifications. MP Sarah Westcott Williams. Madam Chair, through you. The Minister, throughout her answers and introduction, has mentioned the issue of time constraint and the complexity of the issue at hand. And so I would like to know if there is anywhere in the document, the HLA and or the addendum, that mention is made of the possibility for St. Martin, both countries, Curaçao and St. Martin, to challenge any legalities that could further jeopardize the financial economic position of St. Martin, for example, for a period of 2 years. Is there any way that we can seek to guarantee that if something comes up in the next 2 years that jeopardize the position of St. Martin, that it can be inserted? The answer from the central bank, it is not clear to which legalities this question relates, but pursuant to Article 7.4 of the outline agreement, the parties will review the duration of the continuing capital contribution 15 years after the implementation date and consult in good faith if necessary for necessary changes. Can we safeguard St. Martin from any liabilities litigation that could arise from this three-party agreement? Answer from the central bank.
Minister, before you answer, I have MP Westcott Williams that would like to make use of her interruption.
Thank you, Madam Chair Lady, and a good morning to all, to the Minister and her support staff. Madam Chair Lady, through you, I would like to respond to what I understood was the question or the comment from the Central Bank of Curaçao and St. Martin regarding an answer given to my question. What kind of legalities? My question had to do with the fact that if in the headline agreement and or the addendum, the possibility for St. Martin to be safeguarded against any potential legalities, any legalities, other third parties challenging these agreements in which St. Martin is party. So let me make it clear, that's what I want to clarify. Those kind of legalities, I can't pinpoint this person will come with that legal matter against St. Martin, Curaçao, and the Central Bank, any legalities. This matter has been also, from the words of the Minister, under pressure, time pressure and otherwise. Do we have the possibility for a year or such to challenge the agreement, one, and to be protected against any challenges coming from third parties to the agreement? Thank you, Madam Chair Lady.
Yes, Minister, you could answer that clarification.
So, MP Westcott's additional question was, can we safeguard St. Martin from any liabilities litigation that could arise from this three-party agreement? And the answer provided again by the central bank, the risk of the countries being held liable by third parties for their role in the resolution of ENIA seems limited, as the countries are involved only as financiers and at a distance, and the implementation of the resolution is mainly done by the central bank. Following question from MP Westcott. Based on the HLA, can Parliament obtain an organizational breakdown of the management structure or organogram of ENIA? Answer, corporate structure received and submitted confidentially to Parliament. Clarifications. When will the agreements and the obligation be reflected in the budget of the country? Based on the outline agreement and the addendum, the payments will commence in 2027 and will therefore be reflected in the 2027 budget. However, regarding the refinancing agreement, the approval of this addendum will directly impact both the amended 2024 budget and the 2025 budget by reducing our interest expenses. Consequently, a nota van wijziging amendment note will be made to reallocate the savings in interest to another budget line in the 2024 budget. Regarding profits and dividends to be paid by central bank, and stated that the last time dividends were paid in 2022, was this of 2022 or in 2022? MP Westcott asked this question because previous information indicated that the last time St. Martin received payment from the central bank was in 2019. So did we also receive payment in 2022, or was this in fact a payment from a prior year paid in 2022? The answer, dividends from central bank to St. Martin and Curaçao are calculated on a yearly basis depending on the financial results of the central bank. In 2021, the financial results did not give rise to dividend payments. In 2022, the net profit of the central bank was approximately 1.3 million guilders, of which approximately 290,000 guilders is attributed to St. Martin, as included in the 2022 audited central bank financial statements. 3, concerning confidentiality, how will the central bank as regulator seek to comply with the confidentiality rules of an enterprise that is receiving public funds? What can the Parliament ask for or not based on this? Based on the HLA, can Parliament obtain an organizational breakdown of the management structure or organogram of ENIA? Answer, the attached corporate chart has been confidentially submitted to Parliament. With the new structure, ENIA New will be transparently organized and ownership will be brought under the management foundation until ENIA New can be responsibly brought into private hands. ENIA New will be subject to supervision by the central bank. The different roles are kept strictly separate. All funding runs through the resolution fund, and the resolution fund has no control in relation to ENIA New due to a certification structure that will be put in place. ENIA New will receive a one-off capital injection against the issue of share certificates. Therefore, ENIA New cannot rely on funding from public funds. Question 4, would like to receive the loan refinancing agreement made last year between the Netherlands and St. Martin. Answer, refinancing agreement was sent confidentially to Parliament. What is meant, question 5, with St. Martin having received the first right to purchase Mullet Bay? Specifically, what does this entail? Answer, in order to strengthen St. Martin's ability to purchase Mullet Bay at a market valuation and determine its future, while still delivering maximum proceeds to the creditors of ENIA, St. Martin will be granted a matching right in a Mullet Bay sales process. In brief, this matching right entails the following. If pursuant to the sales process, St. Martin makes a binding offer for Mullet Bay, but is not considered to be the winning bidder, then St. Martin shall have an opportunity to improve its offer and match the winning bid. This entails that once a bid is made for Mullet Bay and St. Martin submits a bid in the event that there is a higher bid, St. Martin will have first priority to purchase at the higher bid. Question 6, Are we to receive a redrafted HLA that will include the addendum, or will the addendum be submitted separately? So, will we receive a new agreement that will include the addendum or the old agreement with the addendum agreement as two separate documents? Answer: the old agreement will remain valid, and there will be an additional document to this agreement, which will be the addendum to be signed off by Curaçao, St. Martin, and the central bank. After it has been approved by the parties, the amendment will be attached to the outline agreement. The outline agreement will remain in force insofar as the addendum does not amend it. Question 7. Have mentioned pre and post emergency liabilities based on the regulations. Can a further outline be provided? Answer from the central bank: the distinction between pre and post emergency regulation obligations depend on whether an obligation has accrued on the date the emergency regulation became effective on ENIA, dated July 4th, 2018. Post-emergency regulation liabilities include: 1, all rights and liabilities of former ECL arising from new policies effective as of July 4, 2018, and 2, rights and liabilities of former ECL accrued as of July 4, 2018, and accrued from policies affected before the 4th of July, 2018, whether or not the policies in question were subsequently renewed, including premiums paid as of 4th of July, 2018, and the returns accrued thereon. Pre-emergency regulation liabilities include the rights and liabilities of former ECL arising prior to the emergency regulation. All rights and liabilities of former ECL, including the return on premiums paid before the 4th of July, 2018, other than post-emergency regulation liabilities. Question 8. Referring to the review after 15 years based on Article 7.4, in answer to my question regarding an escape clause, does this agreement require that the monetary union remain intact for the duration of the agreement? Answer from the central bank: the outline agreement is not dependent on the monetary union between Curaçao and St. Martin remaining intact.
All right, time for a commercial break. When we come back, more late night. Stay with us.
You've dreamt it. You've worked hard for it. And now you've got it. You deserve to enjoy the fruits of your labor and know that you're covered in case of a disaster, like an unexpected fire or a vehicular collision. At Magical Insurances, we focus on settling your claims quickly and fairly so you can get back to enjoying your life. Magical Insurances, fast, fair, and always there.
New Gen. She my gang. Let's get ready for the party. Girl, why your body? Get ready for the party. Girl, why your body? Let's get ready for the party. Girl, why your body? Get ready for the party. Girl, why your body? Where the party tonight? Someone tell me where the party tonight. Where the party tonight? Someone tell me where the party tonight. Where the party tonight? Anytime I see the girl, you want to get with bun like a cigarette, bend down like a next. Slap up on your body, girl, shake up your leg, bun like a cigarette, bend down like a next. Slap up on your body, girl, shake. Everybody get mad.
At GEBE, we take the safety and quality of your water seriously. Every day, our dedicated sample collectors venture into the field, visiting the places that matter to you: water tanks, school, supermarkets, home, and high-risk areas. Once these samples return to our water quality lab at KB, they embark on a journey that safeguards your well-being. Our dedicated analysts take over, sending these samples to the microbiology and chemistry departments respectively. This is where the magic happens. We test for a range of parameters, and we do this every single day, no matter what, including holidays and weekends. In our microbiology department, we focus on 2 major tests targeting various bacteria. Confirmation tests are conducted, and we have plans in place in case the results are confirmed. And then we do it all over again, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Rain or shine, your water safety never takes a day off. So when you turn on the tap and enjoy a glass of GEBE's water, you can do so with confidence. GEBE, the power to serve.
Have you been good? Have you been behaving? If not, you might end up on Court TV with a big Al. He wearing glasses, looking all thinking he Clark Kent. No, Al, you know you still the big. I was gonna say some bad words just now, but you know he might give me a sentence. The court time. Let's go.
All right, it's Court TV. I didn't make none of these stories up. You can find them in the media. These are real court cases by real people and real situations and real sentences. That's what we're dealing with. Let's go through some things that are whoa, let's start with this one. 238 fines issued for traffic vehicle infractions in town. That seems a little excessive. That seems a little excessive just in town. So just the police force of St. Martin has issued 238 fines for various infractions during extensive controls. I was in at least 3 of these. That has been conducted in the Phillipsburg area in preparation for the upcoming tourist season. The controls were part of enforcement actions conducted by KPSM, right, and are being done in preparation for the tourism season. It says again, the fines were issued between September 1 and September 22nd. The infractions included illegal parking, which I'm going to bring up back up because where's illegal parking in town, really? Where? Technical issues with vehicles, okay, I understand that one, and failure to wear seatbelts. We could do better, people. Police said in a press release that the controls are part of our ongoing efforts. You know, they just say that all the time. In addition to traffic controls, the community police officers has taken action to prevent motor vehicles from parking on the boardwalk. As a man from town, a town man, stop parking on the boardwalk. Thank you. This was, yeah. With a chain to prevent a chain really? A chain? The chaining will work. Anyway, okay, let's continue. The community officers working closely with local businesses to facilitate deliveries in a manner that does not compromise the safety of the boardwalk. Okay, that's good. Police said these measures are being carried out with the general safety of the public in mind, and KPSM urges all residents and business owners and visitors to cooperate with law enforcement or else it's coming down. Now, let's talk about illegal parking. We used to have bollards on the side of the road, which prevented people from parking in front of people's gates when they have to leave the house. And that specific situation related to just me, but just a general, people park in front of people's houses on Front Street like people don't live there. People live there. And if you see a driveway, you can't park there. So you better be happy the KPSM dealing with it, because if Tongmanga deal with it, they're going to deal with it a different way. And this has happened in the past, allegedly. Next case, male nurse given 4 years for molesting 3 patients. Yeah, we talked about this one before. Let's get into it. The court of first instance sentenced a male nurse on Tuesday to 4 years in prison after finding him guilty of molesting 3 young female patients at the St. Martin Medical Center between July 2022 and April 2024. You see, the Daily Herald a little better this week, not as much gruesome details. However, I'm going to call his name Randy Ivan Johan Plain, 37, was also handed a 9-year ban from working in the healthcare sector in order to pay $10,350 in damages to one of his victims. Plain stood trial earlier this month on 3 counts of sexual assault. For 2 of these, he was accused of drugging the women with the powerful sedative midazolam and inappropriately touching them when they were in semi-conscious state. Okay, so it was found in his house, and basically he guilty. Yeah, that's it. He guilty. Throw the jail on him. He gets 4 years in jail, and then he gets 7 years away from working in the medical field. That's just, the Daily Herald, I go put his picture up and all. So if you see him, just, Anyway, 4 years. Should get 4 years each, you don't think? Like, I don't know. Anyway, moving on. New case. Prosecution asked for more prison time in appeal of ICT fraud case. So they appealed, and in the appeal case, the prosecutor's like, nah, we're going to throw some more on top of it, and that's why we're here. The Solicitor General has asked the Joint Court of Justice to add a year to the prison sentences of 2 former civil servants convicted of defrauding the government out of approximately 9 million guilders between 2010 and 2015. M. Daycoffs and J.C. Lake claimed innocence before the panel of 3 judges, as they should, presiding over their appeal trial on Tuesday, just as they had almost 2 years ago before the lower court. Consistency, which ultimately found them guilty of fraud and money laundering. Didn't work out. The pair were caught up in the Seabass investigation that looked into wrongdoing surrounding the bidding and tendering for information and communications technology projects and procurement, for the government. Daycoffs, the main suspect and former head of the government's ICT department, was handed a prison sentence of 4 years and 9 months. In addition to the fraud and money laundering charges, he was found guilty of abusing his position as a civil servant. Standard. Lake, a former policy advisor in the ICT department, received a sentence of 2 years and 9 months in prison. The third suspect in the case, a sister of one of the 2, was given a conditional 8 months in prison and 240 hours of community service after having been found guilty of fraud and money laundering. She did not appeal the lower court's verdict. So she didn't go into the appeal to get stuck in the situation the other 2 fine gentlemen are in. Anyway, during Tuesday's appeal trial, the Solicitor General considered the charges proven and demanded 69 months in prison for Daycoffs and 45 for Lake, 3 months less than what the prosecutor had demanded for each defendant in the lower court case. So they were getting it less this time. So they were getting 3 months less the last time we tried to get at you. And apparently this. Daycoffs' lawyer, Safira Ibrahim, and Lake's lawyer, Shira Bummel, 2 very good lawyers, pleaded for their clients' full acquittals, arguing that there was insufficient legal and convincing evidence for conviction this time. The court will render a verdict on November 19th. That's a day after my birthday and a good friend of mine's birthday too. Wink. Front companies. The former civil servants are believed to have used their influence on public tender evaluation committees to award contracts to local companies owned by the sister and Valmer Management Consulting owned by the now ex-wife. Okay, the local companies would then transfer money received from these contracts to 3 American companies all owned by Daycoff's close relatives, which was supposedly acting as suppliers. American companies would subsequently transfer hundreds of thousands of dollars to Daycoff's private bank account in the United States over the course of several years. These funds were, wait a minute, I kind of feel like this is like, what are we trying to do here, really? Are we trying to, they're already found guilty, and now they're being found, okay, now we're going back at them again, and the courthouse has given a play-by-play on how to rob the government, because this is a lot of information. I didn't need to know he got 3 companies up there. His sister got this. This is a lot of information. That's why you need Big Court Al. That's right. Anyway, moving on. One of the American companies had transferred a total of roughly $70,000 to Lake's account. It emerged in Tuesday trial. There are also suspicions of cash being withdrawn from one of the company's bank accounts. I just don't want. I feel like this is St. Martin's, you know what I mean? And like, they try a thing, it didn't work out. I just feel like I don't need to drag it any further. But there's a lot of details. I'm just gonna jump here and there, okay? Many witnesses interviewed by the national detectives, including an accountant and Lake's ex-wife, had said that the local companies really belonged to the pair, the Solicitor General said. The fact that the companies involved in the scheme had large profit margins shows that government had been paying too much for their services. That's what the Solicitor General argued as well. He added that these profits enabled the luxury lifestyle the Daycoffs had been leading for many years. Okay, listen, I believe you. Take something on something, you know what I mean? Yeah? There's something on something, you know what I mean? That's a little extra butter on both sides of the bread. You know what I mean? Yeah? You know what I mean? And there's something you scratch my back. Nah! That's bribery. Or one of these other crimes, I don't know. Anyway. Okay, helpers, not owners. He denied being the ultimate beneficiary owner of the company, telling the court that he had only been helping sister place orders, pick up cargo, and make certain queries. I didn't start this company. I never made managerial or operational decisions, correct, and I never had interest in any company doing business with government. Lake emphasized that he was not the owner of VMC and claimed to have no insight into its business dealings. The company had only been using the credit card because it had no commercial card of its own. Valid. Both men also denied having used their positions to influence these companies, getting government contracts, including one worth $1.9 million that VMC received to install equipment in the new government administration building. Lake told the court that he had a position on the selection committee which only determined whether bids met stipulated eligibility criteria and therefore had no say in which company would win a public tender. The selection committee would pass on eligible bids to the awarding committee, where Daycoffs held a position as a department head. I don't want to read them. This is pretty detailed. Wish you guys the best. November 19th, they're going to be sentencing. Real cases, real stories, and real people. I didn't make any of this up. This was Court TV. Stay out of trouble.
Time for another commercial break. When we come back, more late night. Stay with us. It's Friday. What you doing?
Hello, and welcome to SXM Taxi, the most convenient way to hail a taxi on St. Martin. Our app is strictly dedicated to licensed taxi drivers only on the island of St. Martin. You must have an active authorized taxi license and driver's license to be approved to use our service. Our app is designed for the convenience of both customers and drivers. Customers simply download the app, upload a credit card, and have immediate access to any driver available nearby. Once you sign up and are approved to drive, you can choose when you want to use the app by toggling the switch at the top center of your screen to either online or offline. When you are online, you will be alerted for passenger pickups in your area, be visible to riders, and be able to accept rides. When you are offline, you will not receive alerts and you will be invisible to riders. This feature is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to use at your discretion, making the app extremely flexible and user-friendly for the driver. Once the rider requests a taxi, a notification is sent to all drivers in the vicinity. The first available driver to accept the ride gets the fare. Once you are alerted of a potential fare, you can accept the trip by clicking the Accept button at the bottom of your screen. The app's built-in GPS feature will then guide you directly to the rider's location. By clicking the 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, you can choose from 3 different GPS integrations: Apple Maps, Google Maps, or Waze. This feature gives you the ability to use the GPS platform you are most comfortable with. Please keep in mind that you must download the GPS app that you prefer separately onto your phone in order to use this feature. We recommend downloading the Waze GPS app for best results, as we find it to be the most accurate and up-to-date GPS platform. Once you arrive at your passenger pickup point slide, the Mark Arrived arrow at the bottom of your screen. For added security, the app will require you to enter either the last 4 digits of the passenger's phone number or an OTP code that was provided to the rider. This built-in safety feature protects drivers from unwanted or incorrect passengers. Once you enter the correct code, the ride can start by swiping the slide to begin arrow on the bottom of your screen. Once the trip is complete, simply swipe the slide to end ride arrow on the bottom of your screen. The fare is automatically calculated and charged to the rider's credit card. You are now ready and available for your next ride. Driver sign-up bonus fees. All drivers that sign up to use our service will receive an additional 10% booking fee for every fare booked with the app through 2025. In addition, the first 100 drivers that use our service and reach their 100th ride milestone with SXM Taxi will receive a one-time $500 bonus fee.
Hey, did you know I just signed up for Flex by Telem?
Do you mean flex like this?
Definitely not that.
Do you mean flex like this?
No, definitely not that.
Do you mean flex like this?
No, definitely not Flex like that. Telem's Flex is a mobile plan that adapts to your needs. Each month, I get a preset monthly fee that has a set amount of data, SMS, and minutes. So I know what I'm getting. But say goodbye to overages and bill shock, because when I go over my postpaid plan, it switches to prepaid. So I have the flexibility to top up what I need when I need it. I'm in complete control. My budget, my rules.
Hello, my people. Make sure you tune in to Sit, Sip, and Chat every Monday at 5 p.m. on TV 15 and every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m.
And make sure tune in to the Late Night Show with Andrew Dick from Monday to Friday at 10 p.m. with a repeat in the afternoon for no reason. In the afternoon, the Late Night Show at 3 p.m. Thank you, TV 15.
Thank you, TV 15. Make sure to tune in.
Make sure to tune in to the Late Night.
And Sit, Sip, and Chat.
Late Night. That is the Late Night Show. Thank you so much for watching. Until next week, Monday, do have a safe and pleasant one. And don't forget, wear your seatbelt, have your documents, and put your plates on your car. I need to find a screwdriver. I gotta get a screwdriver.